There are now more tutoring options than ever before. Lecture style group tutoring, one-to-one tutoring, self-study courses, and more. But which one actually works? And more importantly, which one works best for your child? In this video, I'm going to walk you through the 5 most common tutoring options, the advantages, the pitfalls, and how to make the best choice for your child's success in GCSE Maths and Science. Hi, I'm Sylvia Browne, lead tutor at the Impact Academy. Over the last 5 years, I've worked with hundreds of families and I've seen firsthand what works and what wastes time and money. So in this video, I'm going to help you cut through the noise, avoid common mistakes, and choose the best tutoring approach for your child's unique need. So let's jump into the first option, and that is the lecture style, no face, large group option. So this option is large scale, camera off delivery. Teachers can't see the students, and you have 50, often hundreds of students in a class. And this is an option that is growing in popularity more recently. What is the downside of this option? Well, low accountability and low engagement. So this is an option where students can, yes, attend the class, but actually they're not engaged, they're not paying attention. The teachers can't actually see what they're doing, and they can be preoccupied with something else at the same time. And even if the child wants to engage, that can be drowned out by the hundreds of other students in the class. And so what you have there is you end up having poor interaction, for poor student to teacher interaction. And so this is an option that is best for motivated students. So a child who is motivated can go in and does not really require that interaction from the teacher. They can be focused and go to each and every single lesson on time and walk through the lesson. The advantage of this option is that it's cheaper, as the classroom can accommodate more students. But if your child struggles with motivation, then this option can backfire and cost more in the long run. Now, on to option 2, and that is traditional one-on-one tutoring. This is what many of us know. This is what many parents and families are familiar with. The obvious advantage of one-to-one tutoring is that the child gets that direct, individualized, personalized support and attention from the tutor. But there are some disadvantages. One, there's no peer interaction, so students miss out on that collaborative learning with other students. Think about when you were back at school, maybe at college, sixth form, university, and you had some study buddies. Which option did you find that you enjoyed the most and learned the most from? Was it when you did it on your own, or was it when you did it with that group of other study buddies and partners? The second option, the second problem with traditional one-to-one tutoring is that there can be an over-reliance on the tutor. So there can be a tutor dependency cycle. What do I mean by this? Well, the child will have a lesson with a tutor, they would learn a topic and then wait until the next lesson to then make progress. So progress is dependent on the lesson itself. And there are no additional elements like self-study elements or feedback outside of tutoring so that the child can progress outside of those lessons. And so what can happen with the one-on-one tutoring is that progress can be limited to just the session time. Option 3 for tutoring options are the self-paced courses, and self-paced courses is also another popular option as well. And what are self-paced courses? Well, they are videos and materials that the child can watch at their own pace and their own time. The advantage is that it's flexible and affordable for families. There is a big problem with self-paced courses, and that is that studies show that the vast majority of people do not actually finish their self-paced courses. But thankfully, there is a way to fix this. If you add in accountability systems like weekly check-ins in the form of live lessons where the teacher can then dive deeper into the struggles that the child is having or the areas that the child covered before the lesson, then this really helps the child to learn a bit better and clear their doubts. Also, by including things like question and answer forums and community where the child can ask questions and get step-by-step answers, this really helps improve all of that. So all of this increases the accountability factor and helps students make significant progress. So this type of tutoring self-paced courses is best for students who are motivated, but when those accountability systems that I mentioned are added, then it works very well for all students. Option number 4, small group tutoring. So small group tutoring typically have students up to about 15. So the typical numbers of students in a private school class. What are the benefits of small group tutoring? Well, it works well because of that small group, you end up having personalized attention. So you get more face-to-face live interaction between the teacher and the students. The students can see and the teachers can see and respond to the students' need in real time, so live in real time. Also, because it is a small group, the students actually get to know each other, they make friends with each other, and they learn from each other. And learning from other students is very, very powerful, and it does a lot of wonders for the students' overall learning. Now, when we've spoken to our students and we've got feedback from our students, this is one of the setup that they tend to tell us that they like best. So, for instance, one of our students, Emmanuel, said that this class we asked him, what did you find was most helpful to you in the program? And what he said was, the class environment has helped me the most because if I don't understand something, another student would explain in their own words and it would make a lot of sense to me. And Emmanuel moved from around a grade 6 to grades 8s and 9s in his maths and science. So who is small group tutoring good for? Which kind of students will it work for? Well, students who work well with others, as well as students who get a bit of motivation from others. So group tutoring has this effect where even if your child is not motivated, where the other students are motivated, it can give them a little bit of a motivation boost. And another thing to say here as well is that sometimes, in fact, many times we've had students who are very shy and therefore are unsure and apprehensive about group tutoring at the start, but actually they also tend to do really well in group tutoring situation because they can learn without the pressure. They can learn by listening to other students and not necessarily having to contribute much or they just contribute in their own time when it's ready for them, when they're ready. Finally, the 5th option is the full support program. The full support program is having that small group option, but with added elements to speed up the child's progress. What kind of options are this? Well, things like a step-by-step curriculum that the child can work through at their own pace and their own time. Things like homework that is marked and checked and feedback actually given to those students. Or booster sessions and catch-up sessions to dive deeper into the areas that the child is struggling with, and ongoing one-on-one support even outside of lessons for that added personalized touch so that the child is never left on their own. So this kind of option, this kind of full support group program option, it works really well, and it's a game changer for year 10 and year 11 students because it helps them to make progress much faster. And because there's so much included, then they have that holistic support which ensures that they learn the tools to succeed beyond GCSE. And this is what we offer in our GCSE mastery program, and we've had proven results with hundreds of students over the last few years. So on to the big question, well, what works best for my child? Well, it completely depends. It depends on your child's personality, your child's motivation levels, their needs and their goals. For instance, if you as a parent, if your key focus is on personalized learning, then one-on-one tuition or that full-scale group support program will work really well for that. In my experience doing this over the last 5 years, I find that small group and full support options typically works well because it gives the child the best of both worlds. So the child gets that individualized, personalized support, as well as the opportunity to learn from other students as well. All right, so I'm keen to find out. Let me know in the comments below, which of these 5 options do you think will work best for your child and why? So I already mentioned our GCSE Mastery program, and this program is great for year 10 and year 11 students who want to make fast progress in maths and science. I'm going to put a link to that program down in the description below. If that's something that you want to learn more about and you think your child will be interested in, then do check that out in the description down below. And if you want to learn about the hidden pitfalls of hourly tuition, then watch the video coming up next. That's it for now, and I'll see you in the next video.